SMT Nation, we back. Nation, T-Mobile made a big hoopla about, being the provider, the official mobile network provider of F1 at Las Vegas. And my brother, my friend, Carlos S. Tech, stood up to the challenge. Absolutely crushed it, creating content for this event. All right, so for those of you that don't know who Carlos S. Tech is, he is a content creator that covers all things electronics, mobile networks, cellular networks, a lot of the same content that I produce here on the channel with respect to speed testing and mobile network testing. He does a phenomenal job. He is the highest order when it comes to this stuff. What he did was he took a modified gimbal, cell phone holder. He built it like hours before the event and got 3 S23 Ultras, put them on the 3 mobile networks on their highest priority plans. He tested the networks during the event, and he went all over the event, different segments and parts of the race, the grandstands, everywhere. I will link his live stream, his video. It'll be in the description. You guys really should subscribe to him and check out his content. Absolutely tremendous coverage. Again, the highest order. Nobody does it like Carlos. So big shout out to Carlos for providing this. And the reason why this is important is T-Mobile has been advertising, marketing, the big push for F1 as the official provider, sponsor, whatever. And because of that, it puts them at a point where they have to be evaluated as such. Did they provide the network experience that they said they could or they would, being that they were the official provider of the event? So he put it to the test. Now Verizon is there, AT&T is there. They all had different types of solutions. Verizon, they pretty much cover Vegas in the most, right? They millimeter wave nodes, C-RAN, rooftop sites, DAS systems. To me, I feel like based on his coverage and what he's been able to show and demonstrate, I've never been to Vegas, but I have friends who live there, including Carlos and some other people within the community, tech community. They feel pretty good about what Verizon has done there. AT&T seems to have had some issues there. T-Mobile has issues there in some ways. But I mean, really, I'd say that Verizon seems to be the best performer across all these really high stakes venues, places where many people, hang out and go to events and stuff. All right, so we'll see if T-Mobile stepped up. We're going to watch some of his content. Carlos, please don't copyright strike me. I will be leading everybody to a channel, all right, so they can check it out. But I want you guys to see firsthand. You may follow me, but not follow him. I know you'll end up there now after what you're about to see. But he really does a phenomenal job of this. Let's watch some of this, and I'll give you guys my response and commentary to it.
Baseline test right now.
Okay.
If you have to zoom out a little bit. All right, we're going to do a baseline test.
And shout out to Carlos for 1080p on a live stream. Phenomenal. Verizon on the left, AT&T middle, T-Mobile on the right.
I think you might need to wipe the lens.
It is wiped, it's just the lights.
Looks like AT&T's cooking there.
Wow,
300.
AT&T's the only one holding up right now.
It's buffering.
Jim, you get a picture?
T-Mobile's not running. Up 0.01. Looks like Verizon's having issues, or the device is having issues. AT&T's working.
That is fucking crazy. Not even T-Mobile's holding up, guys. Verizon and T-Mobile are really fucking up.
All right, so T-Mobile couldn't really measure anything. 0.01 down. AT&T 370 down, 2 up. Looks like he's flashing airplane mode on the Verizon phone. All right, now he's going to retest. Oh, wow.
There we go. Verizon is there in airplane mode.
Holy moly.
There you guys go.
Verizon 2.7 gigs per second.
Holding on.
Oh my goodness. 30 up, 40 up. Telling you, man, Verizon always doing the most.
airplane mode to T-Mobile. All right.
All right, T-Mobile airplane mode. See if it's the device.
It's only on LTE right now. What the hell? Hold on, let me check something.
It's weird. Maybe 5G failed. It's trying to give something to customers by being on LTE.
Oh, there we go. Their LTE network ain't holding up.
That's sweet how he rigged that cell phone holder. That is amazing. Nice job, Lowe's.
My bad.
Custom.
Yeah, the 5G's no good.
5G failed at T-Mobile. The 5G goat.
Oh, there we go. Let's see.
Irony.
Should pin the location on the map to report where the drop in coverage took place.
Nothing on T-Mobile, guys. Nothing.
5G UC connected, and it's failing.
0. Oh, we don't load. Larry, let's go.
So bossy.
All right, so that first test, wherever they are, you can see there's a lot of people there. I'm not sure of the actual location. Can't really see the street signs. But you'll see, I mean, there's a lot going on there. A lot of people. You know, let's see if we can maybe fast forward to another spot here where he does a little bit of testing. Okay, so here I think is where he starts to do some live streaming. And actually, those 3 videos from those 3 phones, the live streams, are posted to his channel as well. And what he's doing is, which is brilliant, he's trying to live stream from each one, and then you guys can see how the playback is. And I watched it. If I remember correctly, Verizon was performing great without a hitch. I think the T-Mobile was holding up decent. It had some issues and some hiccups, but I think it stayed connected most of the time. And then where the trouble was with AT&T. I think I saw like the Prism logo come up and it was disrupted. The audio kept going, but the video stopped multiple times. So as of right now, based on what we've seen, when it comes to speed testing and available capacity, Verizon was the one. And with respect to the live streaming function or use case, Verizon was the one holding up as well. So you guys won't be able to tell from his side, but if you check the 3 videos that were live streaming, then you could see it. Okay, so he does this for a while. I think he walks it out and he goes through a couple locations. And when you do that, because most of the solutions that AT&T and T-Mobile are using are temporary cows and colts, cells on wheels, and cells on light-duty trucks, right? So you can go just from one block to another and be on a different cell, right? So it was really smart that he did this. Now with Verizon, you know, it's probably multi-gig speed across all platforms there, regardless of the location. And that probably is why he had the experience he was able to demonstrate. All right, so here he is kind of going through all the tunneling and the locations. I mean, he really did an incredible job of navigating the premise to all the different parts of the event. He went to the different venues. He went to the grandstands. You know, I watched the whole thing. I literally woke up early, saw that he was live, and I just started kind of seeing what he was putting together there. I think here he's navigating to the other side of the event, and there's a part here where he actually does some network testing, and he does some NPerf testing. And you guys know, just from like the content here on my channel, I do like the NPerf testing because it does a video test, it does a streaming test, it does it all. Like, okay, so right now, and this is pretty cool, he is going to upload content, a video, I think like a 1 or 2 gig file, Verizon on the left, I think AT&T in the middle, and T-Mobile on the right. And he's going to upload the same file on all 3, and he's going to time it.
So right now we're uploading on Verizon right now. It's a 1.3 gig file.
How can I make this not blurry?
There we go.
So he's going to time this, And what's kind of cool about YouTube when you do uploads through phones and stuff, it'll show you like the estimated time it's going to take to upload. You guys can see the progress there in the bar, in the image. It's moving very, very quickly and efficiently. So this is going to be finished within a minute or two, right? That is absolutely incredible that you could upload a 1 to 2 gig file. What do you say? 1.3 gig file in under 2 minutes or something. It is crazy, right? So to me, what that tells me is if you're at these types of events on Verizon, you can continue to use your phone exactly and precisely however the hell you want. There is no difference between your experience if there's 1,000 people near you or 100 people near you, right? It just does not matter. He's going to run the same test there on AT&T in the middle. I think the Verizon one is done, and now it's just processing, so you guys can see how quick it was. If I remember correctly, I think the AT&T one, it was timing at like 45 minutes to an hour. And he's gonna show you guys that now.
Uploading. There we go. AT&T says about 1 hour remaining. Holy shit.
See, this is what I'm telling you guys. Like the temporary solutions from AT&T and T-Mobile are literally in the attempt to just try to offer some kind of connectivity, calling, texting, you know, maybe the simplest of tasks that are data intensive. But you are not going to have the same experience you have otherwise, right? Like you're not using your AT&T phone, your T-Mobile phone the same way you would if this event wasn't going on. Verizon does not skip a beat. Like, look, Verizon's processing at this point. The upload is done. It's been done, right? The AT&T one says 42 minutes, right? It's going to take forever, right? You're not going to accomplish anything there. Here he is doing the T-Mobile test, the upload test. I'm going to go ahead and unmute that for you guys.
Well, midnight. So guys, we're already almost at 1 minute. And T-Mobile just went and it says 2 hours left. So AT&T has had another minute extra and it's only up by 5%. T-Mobile still has 0. Oh, it just hit 1% at 1 minute 15 seconds. So yeah, we're gonna call T-Mobile a failure on the upload too. All right.
Yeah, agreed, Los. That is definitely not going to work. That's not going to happen. So if you're a T-Mobile customer at this venue and you're trying to upload a video quickly to your social media, to your family or something, it's not going to work. That would actually probably time out even. I don't even know if it would run. In fact, your phone would probably die before you could finish that upload. All right, so that is a great test. That is a phenomenal test. Nice job, Los. Very, very good. That's the kind of thing that I would want to see in terms of what I do with my channel and usage. So that's great. I think there's one more thing that he does with respect to NPerf. And guys, I highly recommend you checking out the video because I'm only doing just a brief overview. Like I'm promoting what he's doing. This is not a replacement for what Carlos did. You really got to watch this video because it is true to life. It is real world usage and he's doing the task, shout out to him for doing the most when it comes to the testing. All right, now here's the NPerf test. You got Verizon on the left, you got AT&T in the middle, and you got T-Mobile on the right. And the NPerf test does a speed test. It does a web browsing test. It does a video playback test. It rates them by percentage. And then it also quantifies them with a score in terms of points. So let's check out those values.
You don't need to come that close to the phone. There's like plenty of room for you people to move.
Looks like the missus wasn't having it.
219 up, 159,637 score, browsing 88%, streaming 96. AT&T.
Okay, so I will tell you guys, like, the fact that it got 159,000 endpoint score, like, I don't even get that on most unloaded sites here in Cleveland. That shows you the level of performance that you're able to get from Verizon in these types of venues. It's like better than, you know, regular. You know, like that's incredible that during this event, at this location, at this time, it's able to do that. I see 88% browsing, 96.5% streaming, and I see several hundreds of megabits in capacity, right? I'm looking at 3,179 megabits down, 219 up, right? That's absolutely incredible.
158 average, 5 up, 69,343 score, 81% on browsing, 74% on streaming. T-Mobile, 150 down, 5 up, 72,627, 73% browsing score, 91% on the video streaming. So there you go.
All right, Los, we got 69,000 for AT&T, 72,000 for T-Mobile, well behind Verizon, who kind of is showing us here how to network. The speeds were available for both AT&T and T-Mobile. Those were their ping and latency a little high on AT&T. The browsing a problem on T-Mobile. The streaming a problem on AT&T. Guys, this demonstrates what it takes to properly network at these types of locations, at these types of venues. Verizon with the permanent solutions showing us how it's done. Their collection of C-RAN, millimeter wave nodes, dedication to the grind, splitting cells, DAS systems, all the above. It is the gold standard when it comes to networking for events. You got to think about this, right? This was high stakes for both AT&T and T-Mobile. They had folks coming in, international visitors, who were likely roaming on their networks, and they really could not provide the proper experience. I'm guessing that there were problems around all these venues at different times throughout the night, and they were just barely able to keep up with the demand, right? And I think the one, you know, you think about all three carriers, right? You got AT&T and Verizon, which support first responders. T-Mobile is the sponsor or whatever, the partner of the event. They all had something to prove, and I think comfortably, accurately, the only carrier who stepped up, and they didn't have to step up because these are permanent solutions, was Verizon. AT&T was problematic. We saw that in the actual live stream. You know, we saw it in the speed testing and those things. It was troubled, right? And then T-Mobile, same thing. And they had international visitors, and they have, you know, first responders, and they were problematic. Look, when it's become very evident, it doesn't matter what they say, right? The carriers will build networks when they take these types of events and venues seriously and put the money into them. Clearly, Verizon has done that. We can't say the same thing about AT&T and T-Mobile, who were bringing Colts, cells on light trucks, cows, cells on wheels, right? These temporary mobile solutions, they weren't good enough. They really weren't, especially putting all those things into consideration of what they support, who they support, roaming partnerships, and those types of things. It continues to be a problem for the other carriers. So if you like to do things with your mobile network access at these types of events, concerts, you know, sporting events, venues, you have to, I guess, have realistic expectations. It's going to be 50-50. You know, you're taking a chance with another provider. It's really going to be Verizon in these types of venues. That's what I take away, because this continues to be, you know, the things that we see over and over again. It's repeated until these other providers provide permanent solutions and answering the questions of these demands. It's going to continue to be Verizon's show, you know. And I've said this time and time again. Those are the things that are missing from both the AT&T and the T-Mobile networks. They just cannot simply provide the capacity needed at these types of events. Guys, T-Mobile had dozens of cows. AT&T had all types of solutions, and it wasn't enough, right? And for the folks that say, like, millimeter wave doesn't help a lot of people, that is by far the most inaccurate statement you can make. There are thousands of people at all these grandstands. There are thousands of people across all these casinos. What do you mean it doesn't help a lot of people? That's the most idiotic statement, inaccurate statement you can make. There are tens of thousands of folks around these nodes all the time. It is a mandatory solution. The other two carriers just aren't doing it because it's difficult, time consuming, and expensive. It's just an expense. And they don't seem willing or, you know, wanting to do this yet. They're going to have to answer to this, though, at some point. Anyways, please go check out Carlos's live stream. Watch more of the detailed overview and the replays. He's got the live streams for each of the 3 carriers up there. So check out his channel. Carlos, don't copyright strike me. I love you, bro. Great content. Thanks, guys. We shall see you all on the next video.